What's up, fam? Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. You're on my show, First Callouts, every single Wednesday right here on TeamFFLEX TV. I come here and I break it down for all you competitors out there how to get yourself into that first callout, how you can compete better, and how overall, just tips, tools, and things you can utilize to have a better competition experience. Today, I want to dive into my top 3 competitor mistakes on prep, all right? The mistakes competitors make while they are on prep. This is something that comes up all the time. Everybody who's competing for any length of time, they want to know this stuff, but especially beginners and other people that might be moving to new divisions and things like that. And it's crazy to see the amount of even seasoned competitors that I still think are making major mistakes while they're out there on prep. All right, so I'm going to dive right to it. I'm going to get straight to the point and tell you a little bit about what I think. First thing that I think would be the biggest mistake a competitor makes, period, in this game is going to be dieting down too fast, too soon, all right? And you guys have all heard this. You've all seen it. If you've competed before, it might have happened to you. Honestly, it could have been something that came up for you even. But, you got yourself a coach. They came through and they said, hey, you know what? You want to prep? Great. Let's put you on 900 calories right out the gate because you're a bikini competitor, right? So let's do that. Or maybe you're a men's physique guy, so you know what, 1,200 calories, good enough for you, man. You're gonna get lean. And they diet their competitors very aggressively, very fast, very hard. And that is one of the biggest issues with competition prep coaching in the first place, I think. Because for a number of reasons, it's really gonna put you in a bad spot. First off, it's just really lazy coaching to take a competitor on and just say, you know what, I don't really know what I'm doing as a coach, so I know if I don't feed you anything, I don't let you eat anything, I make you afraid of even smelling a piece of toast, that I'm probably going to be all right because you might show up lean enough, right? It's kind of this weird ego play between coaches and all this, and wanting to make sure that nobody ever misses a show date or everybody's guaranteed placings, or you guys hear all this stuff. It's insane. The point is, though, is when you do diet a competitor like that, or anyone else for that matter, you are setting them up for a world of hurt. You're putting them into a spot where basically now their health is going to be at jeopardy, all right? And we're talking about the health being a big issue. I know a lot of people say, no, athletes, we're hardcore, we do whatever, sacrifice the health. Well, that's a really bad idea if you are not planning to be a bikini competitor when you're 89 years old or things like that, right? We got to focus on our actual health all the time, and what we should be doing on prep should be focused for the longevity of being in sport, for sure. Yeah, you can compete for a long, long time if you do it right, but also just your normal health in everyday life. And dieting down too hard, too aggressively, too fast, these low calorie numbers right out the gate, 12, even more weeks out from a show, it's insane to do, and it does happen often, and it will set you up, no matter who you are, for hormone issues. That's one thing that will definitely happen. And when I talk about hormone issues, your hormones literally affect every function in your body, ladies and gents. How much body fat you store, how much you burn, how easily those processes can work, your mindset, everything in your body is dictated by hormones, right? And so if we're talking about hormones getting messed up, we're talking about problems, and if you look at the real science of actual what happens to even a bikini competitor or something like that on prep, where they are going through this for a very long period of time, they do several shows, well, it's been shown that a female's hormones can take 6 to 18 months to recover after a traditional type prep with this type of very aggressive, very hardcore starvation dieting type coaching. And that's a huge issue. That's something you should be concerned about. And dudes, don't get me wrong, you have the same problems. You'll have a lot of hormone issues if you do that type of practice too. Don't diet down too hard, too fast. That is something that you just can't recover from, all right? Not to mention the next thing, the metabolic effects of doing this. Basically, when you dive right into this starvation mode diet, you're shutting yourself down. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more just about that in 1 second. 1, 2, 3! So you get yourself into this mode where now you're doing the starvation diet. We talked about how this hits your metabolism, your hormones pretty hard. And now we're talking about how it's going to hit your metabolism just as hard, if not harder. A lot of people don't understand when you dive right into a mode like this, where you're eating plentiful amounts of food, you're on an improvement season, or you're not, tracking as much, you're kind of having a higher calorie range, whatever. Well, if you're in that spot and then all overnight, you take your calories to basically, 10, 20, 15% of that, which is what happens on prep. It's crazy. I've seen it. I hear about it all the time, every day. When you do that, no matter what level of calories you drop to, when you do a dramatic cut like that of 1,000 or more calories out of your diet overnight, your body responds in a very interesting way. You know what it does? It says, whoa. We just went from having food all the time, all kinds of nutrients all the time, very consistent meals and, getting everything we need, to now, where is it? And guess what that seems like to your body, ladies and gentlemen? Starvation. All right? That seems like literally starvation. It's like coaches forget and almost competitors forget. And people in fitness in general seem to forget. Our bodies are just living organisms. Our brain is a survival tool. That's what we would be doing in the wild. That's what we end up doing when we're doing fitness. Your body has no idea that, hey, you're on prep. You're just trying to diet. You want to burn a little body fat. You got food in the fridge if you need it. Water's good. Everything's good. We're not doing high activity. Blah, blah, blah. It's not like that. Your brain's literally like, whoa, primitive brain going on here. Survive, survive, survive. Why did the calories go so low? Food's scarce. All right, so what do we got to do? You start shutting the metabolism down, right? If you had a good metabolism on higher calories, now your body starts shutting it down to say, we can't be burning this. We actually don't want to burn that body fat because we might need that to survive. And we're getting such low calories now that we really need to bring this metabolic rate down, slow the metabolism down. So this puts you in a spot, all you competitors out there that are dieting hard, dieting fast, all you coaches that say this is the way to go. Well, you put your athletes in a spot, you competitors are in a spot where now you got this body fat that just won't burn. Your body will hold on to it no matter what. Your hormones are jacked up. Your metabolism's jacked up. And even if somehow you do get lean enough, it'll be absolutely miserable. And if you do get lean enough for the stage, well, don't plan on having that physique for very long at all. Because you're going to rebound weight so damn fast, you won't even be able to count the pounds on the motherfucking scale. And that's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens when you do this. Because now, even if you made it through your prep, cool, whatever. What about the rest of your life? What about right after that prep? You hear about these competitors that gain within a few weeks 30, 40 pounds after their prep and they call it normal. No, it's not normal. That's your body actually rebounding all of this weight because of the hormone issues you got going on with the slowed down metabolism. So no matter what, one of two things are going to happen if you diet down too hard, too fast, all right? You're either not going to make your prep at all, you won't be able to get on stage, you're just not going to get there because your body will fight you the entire time with this starvation mode diet, or you do get to stage and maybe you do okay, maybe you don't, who knows? Every show is different, right? Every area is different. What level you can do is different. But we do know for sure if you don't, even if you do good after that, you're going to have this problem. You're going to rebound weight. You're going to have a very hard time not putting it on. You could be eating no calories still, even just a little increase, and you're going to gain tons and tons of weight after this because of the hormones and the metabolism, all right? So dieting down too hard, too fast, I really seriously would say is one of the biggest problems. And this, again, happens for all competitors, all divisions, men's divisions, female divisions. If you diet too hard, too fast, it is an error. It is a mistake. Don't do it. If you get a coach and you hire them and you're 12 weeks out, 16 weeks out, and they cut your calories dramatically, they cut them a lot, they put you in a low zone, get the heck out of there. Get a different coach, get a refund, or lose your damn money. But don't do this damage to your body that's going to happen. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I've coached thousands and thousands of competitors. I've never once had to do that. I've never once had to put somebody on that low of calories. I've never had to take anybody down to 900, 1,000 calories that are competing in bikini or any of these other women's divisions. Never did. Most of my competitors are going to compete around 13, 14, 1,500 calories. And again, it's all individual, so you could be on more. I have some female competitors that are competing on 2,500 calories a day on show day, right? Everybody is different, but I'm saying the lowest I've ever had to do in my career is around those levels, you know, 1400, 1500, and it's because it fits for them, their bodies, their physique. It's not unhealthy, in other words. It is where they actually need to be based on the metabolic rate and everything else they got going on, all right? Your nutrition should always be your goal when you're on prep, is to eat as much as you possibly can while still getting a result. And that's really what you need to focus on. That's really what you should be doing. And again, I'm going to say it one more time for you. Eat as much as you possibly can while still getting a result. Keep your calories up. Keep your, you know, everything going as little paced as possible. Don't go aggressive. Don't go too hardcore. And you're going to show up on stage with a better physique every damn time and avoid the hormone problems, avoid the metabolic problems, and avoid all the other problems that come with dieting too fast. Now, that's just one side of the coin. I got a whole other part that's going to rope this thing together right after the break. So we dived right in to that first step. Dieting too hard, too fast, it's going to mess you up. It's going to damage you. It's going to cause you problems. It'll be a problem no matter what. And you know what's funny is I know competitors out here will be like, I've done it, I did okay, blah, blah, blah. I know there's coaches watching this that are saying, this guy's full of shit. But the truth is, you're full of shit if you think that that's the best way to do a prep. Because at the end of the day, you know, coaches that are that lazy, they won't dial their clients' macros up, they won't dial them in the right way, and they won't diet them correctly. They're just lazy and stealing your money. And athletes out there, you will be able to get away with doing that type of extreme dieting once or twice. Don't get me wrong, you will. You're still going to have all the effects I said, but it's just not going to be too bad for that point that it's going to damage you permanently. But eventually, you do 3-4 preps like that, you're not competing anymore, because you just simply will never get to that spot. But what ropes right with everything in here is going to obviously be my number 2. We talked about 3. Number 2 is coming, and this is the training. All right, overtraining and doing too much cardio. These things are almost hand in hand with the whole diet, and that's why I'm going to rope these together. All right, we talked about the diet being an issue, because we start shutting down hormones and metabolisms if you diet too hard, too fast for the starvation mode of the body. But you know what's funny is we're not even just talking about if you were just dieting. If you literally were sitting on the couch watching Netflix all day, doing zero activity, zero weight training, zero this and that, and you did that type of diet, you're going to have problems. You're going to have issues. You're going to rebound weight. You're going to have stubborn body fat. You're going to have bad hormones. You're going to have messed up metabolism. All that would happen if you were just doing the dieting. But no, let me get you guys straight here. All these crazy guru bodybuilding coaches and all these people with no real knowledge of any of this stuff, they go ahead and say, you know what, we're going to do those super low calories, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of training to do on top of it. High activity, high output. I want you in the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours lifting, heavy, reps, volume, all that, sets after sets, reps after reps, supersets, drop sets, high intensity sets, all this. And then when you're done, I want you to go home, and then I want you to come back at the night and do your cardio. And better yet, do an hour cardio at night, and then wake up in the next morning, do fasted an hour before your 2-hour weight workout. And now, people got their clients running around out there doing 2 to 4, 5 hours a day of actual physical activity, which is insane when we think about what's going to happen to your body just doing that, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is coupling these low calories where it's already elicit all of that stuff that I said. You know, it's going to put you in the starvation mode, mess up your hormones, mess up your metabolism, mess up all this stuff that you got to deal with. And then we're going to add all this other stuff in there that's going to be even more doing the same thing, right? Think about how insane that actually is, that how many people coach this way still in 2020 right now. It's insane, all right? The truth is, though, when you do too much activity, you do too much cardio, your body does everything I mentioned before, 10x. It's going to do it all over again. It's going to do it more and more and more. And you guys wonder why you hear so many horror stories about preps. You wonder why you see so many people that actually voice on social media their terrible experiences with preps, the issues they've had, the medical issues they've developed, and the problems they have ongoing for literally years and years, sometimes the rest of their life. This type of stuff happens because of that exact thing. When we look at low calories with high activity, that again is a signal to the brain to say, wow, we are starving, we are doing so much stuff, and we are basically dying. And that's what it kind of does, and it does feel like that if you're a competitor that's ever been on a prep like that. I've coached thousands of them after they've come from coaches. They coach just like that. And what I always have to do with these people is really reverse engineer these issues that have been created. And I have to figure out how are we going to do all this type of stuff and fix these things going on. And sometimes you just can't do it. There's many competitors I've encountered over the years that literally have done preps. They've developed permanent organ health issues and all other types of issues from forever. Not to mention mental problems and things like that come with, these healthy eating disorders and everything else. So obviously you guys can tell I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about, and I think it's a serious problem. But you might ask, what's the right thing to do then when it comes to training, right? Well, guess what? Let me tell you what it is. It's almost the same as nutrition. Do as little as you possibly can while still getting results. Ladies and gentlemen, killing yourself in the gym is never going to make you better. It's going to set you back. It's going to put you in a spot to injure yourself. It's going to put you in a spot where you have joint problems, maybe back problems, maybe real injuries that require surgeries. You're going to be out for months and months, not to mention everything else that becomes involved when you start doing too much in the gym, period. It's going to mess up your hormones, mess up your metabolism, do all this stuff. Yet again, the answer is not more, ladies and gentlemen. If you are following a good training program that hits everything you need to hit, you don't need to spend more time than just that. I do not ever load any of my competitors up in my career with that much training, that much cardio. I've never even had a competitor do 2-a-day sessions of cardio. Most of the time when I do cardio, it's a few days a week, 30 minutes for somebody like that if they absolutely need it. And usually those people, guess where they come? From coaches that put them in a bad spot to now where we need to do that just for them to get to a good spot, right? It's a whole crazy conundrum out there in the world of coaching and everything else that's going on, and it just doesn't serve you if you're putting the damage in your body from training and not enough nutrition and doing too much cardio. I wouldn't even add cardio in on a prep unless we need it. Most of the time I'm dieting my competitors successfully with nutrition and with training, and that's it. And they're lifting in the gym an hour, hour and a half maybe. Totally normal, perfect time for rest, perfect time for sets, hitting what we need to hit, and hitting the macros. That's it, right? And a lot of times we get them to stage just like that. That's really something you need to consider, a red flag. If you got 7 days a week of training, an hour here, an hour there, 2 hours of weights, cardio, hey, red flag. Again, you should get out of that, all right? But this, we talked about 2 mistakes. There's still another one I really want to talk about. It's a little less related to the coaching, but then again, maybe not, all right? Let's talk about it right after this. We covered those first 2 mistakes. Dieting too hard, too fast, overtraining, doing too much cardio. It's kind of a no-brainer for me after doing this for so long and having coached so many successful competitors. But I know it's still not, there's a lot of coaches out there not even considering what I just said. And this might blow some people's minds. I hope that it does out there. I hope this blows your mind if you compete or you're a coach and you start doing things the right damn way. I guarantee you better health, better longevity, better life, better scores, better options to get yourself into that first call out, ladies and gents, all right? But I gotta go ahead and hit on number 3, which really kind of comes down to the competitor more than the coach at this point, but there is some coaching involved, and that's not posing enough. Number 3 is not posing enough. That's one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen competitors make from other, teams. You see them out there on stages. I mean, I've been to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows at this point where I'm sitting in the audience watching, blah, blah, blah. And, we're seeing all kinds of variances of posing, all kinds of different crazy things going on. You can tell some of these people watched YouTube and that's all they did. You can tell some people didn't start posing until about 2-3 weeks out. You can tell some people have been working on their posing the entire time. Guess who wins? The people that can present the best, ladies and gentlemen. What we need to remember is while my first 2 prep mistakes were dieting and training, well, this is not a dieting and training competition. This is a bodybuilding competition. Whatever division you're in, whatever you got going, men, women, I don't care. You're a bodybuilder. And guess what your job is? To stand on stage in front of judges and pose and present and get scored and then place or not. That's what you're doing. The judges, in other words, they don't care if you overtrain. They don't care if you eat too little. They don't know any of that. In other words, they're not scoring you for it, right? They're not sitting there saying, oh, well, they did 12 weeks prep. They didn't. No, they're looking at what's on stage on that day. And posing becomes the biggest way to actually show them that, right? Posing should be dedicated towards showing your strongest points, really showing the judges why you're the best, and hiding your weakest points. And if you don't think that you have weak points, it's because you don't understand what the judges are looking for. So you really need to know that when you're on stage and you're posing, you're presenting, that's what you need to be bringing forward. And the amount of competitors that slack this off and they don't start doing this till the last minute or they don't practice enough is insane. What I say to anybody competing, hey, if you want to be competing, you want to do your best, you want to win, you want a first call out, well, you better be posing every damn day from 12 weeks out, maybe even earlier. I don't have people stop posing when they're in off season. I have people posing for check-ins every single week because I want to make sure they're at least doing that. But the point is, the more that you practice the posing, the better you're going to be on stage, period. And one of the biggest mistakes is competitors don't practice. They don't understand what judges are looking for, and they don't, do all that. Get yourself a posing coach. Make sure you work with a coach that does posing. On TeamFFLEX, I roped the posing into our packages included. There are no other teams doing that. There's no other coaches doing that. By the time you watch this, maybe there will be. And if there is right now and I don't know about it, it's because they copied me. Because when I brought that in, there was 0 people doing that, and I include it. I include it so that our athletes will do the best. I include it so that they get the coaching they need, and then we make sure they practice all the time so that they get on stage confident, they feel great, they look great, they did their prep, and now they can present and they get the reward, ladies and gentlemen. That is the key of the sport of bodybuilding. That is what you do. It is a process. It is a prep. You don't want to make these mistakes. Let me tell you this. If I had to recap this for you in 2 seconds, too low calories, too much training, not enough posing. That's a dead last place. All right, I don't care who you are, what you think. That's true. There's no other way to do it. If you went through an extreme prep like I talked about and you made it out okay, go get your blood work done and then send it to me. I want to see, because I don't believe you. Because at the end of the day, there is a mass amount of coaches coaching like this. There are so many coaches that haven't even, they did one show. They have no credentials. They have no idea what anything about the human body is. They have no real certification, no idea how nutrition works, how the body works, how to build muscle. They copycat what their shitty coach did, and it just keeps going. There's so much bro science and so little real science, and people are getting messed up, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why, I had to make this video today to really break this down. Understand, if you're in this spot, what I said is true. If you've paid a coach and they put you on a plan like that, they put you in a spot where you are on really low calories, you are starving yourself, you're doing too much activity and you're doing tons of cardio, quit, leave. I'm telling you, seriously, get your money back or lose the money and save your health, because at the end of the day, that is so important. It is something that you don't get back if you mess your health up on a prep, and unfortunately, it happens all the time because of bad coaching tactics and athletes that don't ask questions, all right? So that's really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got something out of this today. If you need any help with any part of your coaching at all, go to my website right now, TeamFFLEX.com. If you're one of the people that have been in a bad spot where you were damaged by a prep or you had to struggle after one, go to my website, TeamFFLEX.com. If you need anything at all, competition related or not, go to my website, TeamFFLEX.com, and subscribe to the free trial where I will show you exactly what you can do, how to get back on your feet, help you, give you some advice, talk to you, show you some workouts, talk about your nutrition, whatever you need to help you get on your feet. As you guys know, I do these videos because I want to help you. I do this because I'm out here to help help you. I want to see you be successful. I don't care if you come pay me or not. I do this for free. I do these videos. We do the free trial for free to help people, to help you out there, because I love this sport. I love this career. I love what I do, and I want to make sure all of you do too. All right, so that's what I want to bring up to you. I hope you got something out of this. Do me a favor if you did, subscribe and share it out for any of your friends. If you're a competitor and you got friends competing, they need to hear it. They need to see it. You might just damn well help them save some serious problems in their life. Thanks for watching First Callouts. I'm Milton from TeamFFLEX. Be back tomorrow for Fitness Fire. Coach Rye is out.